Morning here at the weather desk, and even though this track has shifted a little bit to the west here, and we're not specifically in the cone, we're still going to feel that those winds and also some rain. In fact, we're seeing winds this morning just from the outskirts, I guess, of Irma, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we've got that high pressure north, low pressure south. So remember, we've got some kind of funneling of wind coming in off the coast, and we've been looking at reports already, wind gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour.
Right, so we already have near tropical storm force winds, not necessarily from outer bands of Irma, but it's already messy out there. And the point is, it's messy. It's only going to get worse today and tomorrow as Hurricane Irma gets closer.
Yeah, and also we should mention when winds are sustained at 40 miles per hour, that's when the bridges start to close. And each of our bridges across the area have monitors on them, so they know exactly when it hits 40 miles per hour sustained, and they will close it. And I would expect, or at least we're on alert, we're watching out for those bridge closures, and as soon as that starts to happen, we will of course bring you that information. In addition to the wind, of course, we've already got heavy rain out there and even some ponding on our roads in spots. You can see this line of heavy rain moving inland, and along with it, it comes with gusty wind. We were watching it earlier this morning outside the station, and you can see it kind of come down in sheets and move across the road or across the parking lot. This heavy rain is headed towards you in Elliott's Bluff at 620, Taylor 624, Lake City. You'll see that by 631, 5.634 in Hildreth at 642. Also, we have kind of a line here of heavy rain, and it's starting to make almost a C shape. And when you see that, that means there's really some strong wind with it. So Bostwick, you're going to see the wind and rain at 615, Penny Farm 626, Lake Asbury for you at 628, Middleburg 634, and then Hurlong Airport at 640 this morning. There's of course more rain across the area. Most of our counties in Northeast Florida seeing that. But I want to take you down and show you where the center of the storm is. This is the eye of Irma, about 30 miles or less than that from the radar site on Key West, which honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see some damage to that radar site, because this red that you see right there, that is the eye wall, and that is the most violent part of this hurricane. It's a Category 4 major hurricane with sustained winds at 130 miles per hour, less than 13 miles now from the Key West radar site. They're about to get hit with the strongest winds from this Category 4, incredibly powerful and large storm system, and really this is just going to be a very dramatic hit for the Keys, including of course Key West and some of the historic sites there on the island. Winds again sustained at 130 miles per hour. It's moving towards the northwest at 8 miles per hour. And if our producers in the back are checking any feeds, if we have any feeds still from Key West and you see something good while I'm talking, let me know, because we'll dip into that. Well, that Category 4 storm is going to cross over the Keys this morning, really within the hour. Then it's headed towards Fort Myers, still as a Category 4. We are looking at incredible storm surge up into Fort Myers and into Tampa. Then it moves north, making landfall south of Tallahassee. By about the time it reaches Tallahassee, I do expect that to be weakening to a Category 2 or even 1 hurricane. And remember, even though we aren't in the cone, this storm is more than 400 miles wide. That's the diameter of this hurricane. It's going to stretch all the way across our area and out into the Atlantic, bringing us heavy rain. So we do have a flash flood watch in effect throughout the day today and into tonight and tomorrow. We have flood warnings popping onto the map here for southern Duval and northern Clay counties, even parts of northern St. John's, where they've been receiving that heavy rain through the overnight. In addition to the rain, storm surge going to be a problem for some of us. And for more on where we're going to see that storm surge, Action News Jack's first alert meteorologist, Aaron Clanahan.
Yeah, if you live along the coast or along the St. Johns River, you will have to watch for storm surge. I'm going to start with the forecast, though, for South Florida, because this is where we are expecting the most significant storm surge. So along the southeast coast of Florida, Miami, Homestead area, we're looking at about 3 feet along the immediate coastline here, more like 1 foot as you head a little farther inland. Now heading over to the southwest coast of Florida, this is really where we are going to see significant storm surge. Notice the red color means more than 9 feet possible. So right here along that immediate coastline of southwest Florida, we're looking at a storm surge of 9+ feet. The orange color represents about 6 feet of storm surge, and then as you head inland, that light blue color, that represents about a foot of storm surge. So from Marco Island all the way up the coast towards Sanibel Island, that's really where we're going to see a lot of damage from the storm surge. Hopefully most of the southwest coast of Florida did evacuate if they are near near the coastline. And then heading inland, that storm surge gradually begins to decrease towards about a foot. Now, getting into our local area, we're going to start with the storm surge forecast. This is for the St. Johns River in Putnam County. I'm going to go through the whole area, so just bear with me. I'm going to take my time with this. Right along the St. Johns River here, south of Palatka, we're looking at about a foot of storm surge, so not too bad in that area. Now, getting it close to the coast in St. Johns County, we have Anastasia Island, about a foot there for that blue color, and then along the western edge of that island, closer to about 3 feet. So what we're looking at in our area is anywhere from 1 to 3 feet. The blue color means 1 foot, the yellow means about 3 feet. So then we move north to just north of St. Augustine. We're looking at about 3 feet for you guys. Now we're into the Duval County area. Atlantic Beach down south towards Ponte Vedra Beach. This includes Mayport, Jacksonville Beach, Neptune Beach, all of the beaches for Duval County. We're looking at about 1 to possibly 2 feet of storm surge in that area. For Fleming Island, the Russell area right here along these little tributaries, looking at about a foot of storm surge for you guys. Now we're moving up towards Nassau County, starting to get into southeast Georgia. For St. Mary's, about 3 feet of storm surge there. The blue color, 1 foot. So about 1 to 3 feet. Obviously prepare for the worst, with that being a 3-foot storm surge forecast. For Fernandina Beach, if you look closely, you can see a lot of bright yellow here. That's representing about 3 feet of a storm surge forecast for you guys. Now we are heading even farther north for the St. Simons area, Brunswick, Jekyll Island can expect about 3 feet of storm surge here within all of these little tributaries. There's a lot of water in southeast Georgia right along the coast. It's very marshy, very low lying, a little bit more than what we have in, let's say, Duval County, and that's why the storm surge forecast is greater for this area. And even though the storm will be well off to our west, the center of it, we're going to be getting these heavy rain bands that basically just wrap around from the Atlantic Ocean and pull in those high winds and a lot of moisture. So storm surge will still be a threat for some of our coastal counties. Brunswick can expect anywhere from 1 to 3 feet of storm surge there. Now for Little Talbot Island, 1 feet for you guys. That's the forecast for Little and Big Talbot Island. Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach, right along the intercoastal. We're looking at about a foot of storm surge for all areas right there along the intercoastal. Isle of Palms near Mayo Clinic, heading even farther south, getting towards Ponte Vedra and TPC. Not a huge storm surge threat with this, just because that track keeps shifting to the west, so that is bringing our storm surge forecast down a little bit. Not to 0, but certainly not as bad as maybe we have thought at the beginning of the week. For South Ponte Vedra Beach, about a foot to maximum 3 feet of storm surge in that area. And then towards Volano Beach, that got hit really hard during Hurricane Matthew, we are looking at about a 1 to 3 foot of storm surge in that area. Moving towards Summer Haven and Marineland, about a foot there as well. And then we're back towards the river in Palatka, where the storm surge is looking like it will be about a foot. So I hope I hit your neighborhood. We'll continue to talk about the storm surge forecast and also the wind threat that's going to come along with Hurricane Hermine coming up throughout the show. Here's a look at your Action News Jax First Alert 7-day forecast. We are going to be experiencing conditions that are hurricane-like for tonight and into Monday. Temperatures will be in the 70s today, low 80s tomorrow. Very windy with tropical storm force, possibly even hurricane force wind gusts out there, and also heavy rain and flooding. All of this is going to begin to clear out by Tuesday. We'll see partly cloudy skies, windy conditions with temperatures in the upper 80s, and then by Wednesday it's a beautiful day. We're back to typical September-like weather beginning Thursday with warm temperatures and afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Stay with us through the rest of the morning for more updates.